Welcome to Narrator's Cut. Today we're going to show you a sci-fi series called Stranger Things Season 1. Watch out for spoilers and keep an eye on Episode 1. A scientist was assaulted by an unknown entity in Hawkins, Indiana, in November 1983. Will Byers, 12, meets together with Mike Wheeler, Dustin Henderson, and Lucas Sinclair for a game of Dungeons and Dragons before inexplicably disappearing. Will's mother, Joyce Byers, alerts Police Chief Jim Hopper, who begins a search and tells Joyce that most missing children are located shortly. Asserting that the girl has not gone far, Dr. Martin Brenner studies an organic material leaking from the lab's basement. An anxious young lady in a medical gown enters a nearby eatery. A tattoo of 011 on her arm tells the owner, Benny, that she is 11. Brenner sent operatives to the restaurant after Benny dialed social services. The agents murder Benny, but 11 uses telekinetic powers to escape. Joyce's phone shorts out when she gets an unexpected call from Will. Mike, Dustin, and Lucas run into 11 while looking for Will. Episode 2. The males take 11 to Mike's place, fighting for her. 11 resists Mike's idea of being a runaway and seeking aid from his mother, Karen, claiming that evil guys are chasing her. Will's brother Jonathan goes to Indianapolis to find Lonnie's estranged father, but Lonnie refuses. The search group finds a medical gown near the lab. 11 convinces the lads to trust her after identifying Will in a picture and exhibiting her telekinesis. 11 signifies Will is on the upside-down side of the board and being chased by the Demogorgon, the creature. Nancy and Barb Holland, Mike's sister, travel to a party with Nancy's boyfriend, Steve Harrington. Jonathan sneaks into the party while looking for Will near Steve's. Another phone call from Will. Music from his stereo. Then the thing was coming through the wall. The Demogorgon attacks Barb alone at the pool and disappears. Episode 3. This other realm is fading and overgrown. The Demogorgon attacks her as she flees. Joyce thinks Will uses light bulb pulses to communicate. In addition to Brenner's participation with Project MKUltra, a CIA investigation into the brainwashing potential of psychoactive substances, a lady called Terry Ives claimed years earlier that Brenner stole her daughter. 11 remembers Brenner, her papa, disciplining her for not telekinetically harming a kitten. After seeing the party images, Steve burns Jonathan's camera. Nancy finds a snapshot of Barb after realizing she is absent. Nancy confronts the Demogorgon while investigating Steve's residence but escapes. Joyce decorates her wall with Christmas lights, enabling Will to sign, "Right here," and "Run." They beg 11 to guide them to Will, believing she knows where he is. 11 takes them to a quarry while the search team recovers Will's presumed corpse from the water. Episode 4. Joyce refuses to accept Will's corpse at the quarry. 11 betrays Mike until she confirms Will is still alive and speaking over Mike's walkie-talkie. The lads think 11 may speak with Will using a ham radio at school. Nancy detects a figure behind Barb in Jonathan's shot that Jonathan recognizes as the Demogorgon. Nancy reports Barb's absence. She subsequently disputes with Steve, who merely wants to avoid his father. Hopper questions the legitimacy of the corpse discovered in the quarry and beats the state trooper until he reveals he was told to lie. Lesser known is Will's voice in Joyce's living room wall. She sees him through the wallpaper. 11 uses the radio to speak to his mom. Hopper goes to the morgue and sees a false corpse, so he breaks into Brenner's lab. Episode 5. In the lab's basement, Hopper searches before being knocked down by the guards. Their scientific instructor, Mr. Clark, tells them there may be a theoretical gate between dimensions. Hopper wakes up at home and discovers a concealed microphone, proving Joyce was correct all along. Their theory is that a gate would disturb the Earth's electromagnetic field. After being put in a sensory deprivation tank, 11 remembers hearing a guy speaking Russian and seeing the Demogorgon. Fearing the Demogorgon, 11 reroutes the compasses. Mike and Lucas fight and 11 telekinetically flings Lucas off Mike. 11 flees as Dustin and Mike care for Lucas. Nancy and Jonathan prepare to defeat the Demogorgon. In the woods, they find an injured deer. Nancy pursues it through an upside-down gate, attracting its attention. Episode 6. Jonathan re-enters with Nancy. Nancy is terrified of being alone that night and begs Jonathan to stay. Steve sees them together through Nancy's bedroom window and assumes they're dating. She claims that Terry was an unwitting participant in Project MK Ultra and that she thinks Brenner took her daughter Jane at birth, due to Jane's alleged telekinetic and telepathic skills. Their theory is that the Demogorgon is drawn to blood, so they stockpile weapons. Steve and Jonathan fight after Steve calls Nancy a slut. 11 shoplifts several cartons of Eggo waffles from a grocery store. Mike and Dustin are assaulted by a gang of bullies while looking for 11, but she saves them by using her talents to break one of the thugs' arms. 11 falls, recalling Brenner asking her to contact the Demogorgon and her horror opening the portal. She sobs to Mike that she let the Demogorgon into this realm. Lucas witnesses agents prepared to assault Mike's residence. Episode 7. Agents are looking for 11, says Lucas. Mike, Dustin, and 11 escape. 11 telekinetically flips an agent's vehicle, and the kids escape. As the agents approach, Lucas reconciles with Mike and 11. Nancy and Jonathan tell Joyce and Hopper about the Demogorgon. Group contacts youngsters. All gather at Byers. 11 as Jane Ives, Joyce and Hopper see. To find Will and Barb, the gang begs 11 to search telepathically. So they break into 11's middle school and erect a sensory deprivation tank. 11 uses her telepathy to locate Barb dead and Will alive in his backyard fort. Realizing the gate is in the lab's basement, Hopper and Joyce break in but are stopped by security guards. Nancy and Jonathan prepare to draw and kill the Demogorgon invading Will's fort in the Byers' home. Episode 8. Brenner, tormented by the murder of his daughter Sarah, enables Hopper and Joyce to visit the Upside Down to rescue Will. Nancy and Jonathan Byers slit their hands to lure the Demogorgon. After their disagreement, Steve comes to apologize to Jonathan. Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan set it on fire to escape the Demogorgon. When Brenner and his agents come to capture 11, she kills most of them before fainting from weariness. The Demogorgon assaults Brenner, killing him. Hopper and Joyce locate Will, unconscious with a tendril down his neck, and CPR on him. 11 discovers the Demogorgon and disintegrates it but then vanishes. Will is unwell. Less than a month later, Nancy is back with Steve, and they are both friends with Will. Coughs up a slug-like monster and sees the Upside Down but keeps it hidden from his family. And that's it. Hope you enjoy it. And please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting movies to recap. Take care. See you at the next video.